This is on the moon. It's crashed, cigar-shaped craft. And it looks like it's very old because you can see pot marks. You can see this is actually the bridge. And the thing about the bridge on those cigars is that they're not on top, they're on the bottom of the craft. So this craft is crashed laying upside down. This picture shows what that cigar, that crashed cigar sitting on the moon, laying upside down, it's 500 meters diameter. That is right about 1,500 feet. Its diameter is bigger than the Eiffel Tower. This thing is 3,370 meters. That is.
Oh my, inflation. It's real. Have you been to the pump lately? Have you been to the grocery store? Well, I mean, I just got a bill for my car insurance to renew. No tickets, no accidents. They raised it over 50%. And they said it's because of expenses of repairs. Really? This is wild. Now, I don't know about you, but I definitely want to protect my future and my retirement. I've already called Noble Gold Investments. You should too. 1-877-646-5347. They will help you convert your 401 IRA into precious metals and help you with your future and your retirement. You can even convert it into cryptos. It's all about options. I would ask what your options are. And as a gift, they will give you, all qualifying 401 IRAs to convert, a beautiful, this is a 3-ounce American Virtue solid silver coin at no additional cost. Give them a call before they run out and be the change you want to see, everybody.
I haven't met a microphone yet that I didn't like, so we're good.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that the microphones like you also, man, and really excited for the opportunity. Thank you for being a guest on Leak Project. We always have great shows. And today, I think this is fantastic because I've been doing a lot of stuff recently on the moon. And it seems like the moon has been in the media more than usual with TV shows and films and esoteric stuff. So something's going on with the moon. And you said, Rex, on our next show, we should look at some anomalies that are on the moon and also check out some anomalies on Mars. And I'm like, I think this is a great idea because the photos that we're going to be looking at, a lot of these photos were like airbrushed or they missed the airbrush when they were sent to NASA. And folks, look, I get it. NASA, always a straight answer, right? Everything. I'm very skeptical about a lot of the new stuff that they show us. The cool thing about these older photos is they oftentimes missed something that they were supposed to airbrush, or at least they thought they were supposed to airbrush. The AI stuff wasn't as advanced back then, so it would slip through the cracks. And what we're going to be looking at today is what I think some incredible evidence that shows there was, or maybe even still is, highly advanced life and civilizations that visited the moon and Mars. So, man, Aage, how you been? It's great to see you.
Doing wonderful. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. And so give a shout out to your YouTube channel, your website. And if you've got anything else going on that's new, please share it with us before we start this awesome presentation.
Pyramids. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to show some pictures here that is a little far out, some of them, but they have been verified, and quite a few of them actually. I have the NASA print in my possession because I wrote to NASA and I got the print. Now, sometimes on several of them, I had to write 3 times because they didn't want to give it to me, but I got it. So I have quite a few of them. And I want to say just a couple of things about the moon first. We're going to deal with some really outlandish photos from Mars too. And everybody's talking about disclosure now these days. But I tell you, I wrote down something here, a statement that I ran across. There is there's an engineer that works for NASA. His name is Joseph F. Bloomrich. He's a leading engineer at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. He studied the moon and the pictures and all the activities and the movements and everything that has been seen up there for 18 months. Also studied the Russian pictures that are available during that time. And he made a statement. Now, here it is. The moon and Earth are and have been visited on a regular basis by extraterrestrial beings. Now, that's from a guy that works at NASA and studied for 18 months. So when it comes to disclosure, there are many, many different times that they have made statements that is totally in favor of and prove that they have knowledge of extraterrestrial beings as well as UFOs. In fact, even Medvedev in Moscow, at the tail end of an interview, he was asked if UFOs were real, and he said, of course. He says, when you take office, he says, then we get this dossier on explaining the extraterrestrials and the UFOs. He says, but we can't talk about it because we are told that there could be panic. So here we are, still asking.
We're not panicking, are we?
Yeah. Let's see if we can stir up some panic, Rex.
Oh man, aliens are real. I'm really freaked out now. I think they've used an excuse long enough. I mean, but
yeah,
we'll see. I think it's control, dude. I really do. Could you imagine how? But anyway, but we're staying out of that, folks. We're not going to talk about it today. We're going to look at the cool stuff.
Oh no. Yeah, this is a video that Nori Love and I put together, and I'm going to show the pictures from the video. We did this, oh gosh, it's got to be 3 years ago now, and we've had it on YouTube and many different places. So here, there is more information on that video, but here we're going to go through the pictures, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the pictures. So I can go ahead and advance a little bit here. Here's just a conglomerate. There is a crater. Let me see here. I'm just going to go here. There we go. There's Norilov and myself. And we are the one that is narrating this, which you will see later on. But here is some of the pictures starting out. Okay. This is a 2-mile-long cigar-shaped craft floating across the surface of the moon, throwing a shadow on the ground, which you can see over here. And this picture, I had questions on when I first saw it. And I've had this picture for probably close to 30 years now. And when I say I had the picture, I mean actually the NASA print, because I wrote to NASA in Houston and got the print. This is it. And don't take my word for it. Write to NASA yourself. It is Apollo 16. It's taken with the Hasselblad camera. And here's the picture number. You can give NASA and they will send you this picture. 16-19238 is the picture number. So I tell you folks, if you write to NASA and get this picture, this is a conversation piece around the table sometimes when you get into discussion of things like this. I think you'll have fun with it. And here is another picture. Here is, it's a little overexposed, but this is a pyramid sitting on the moon. And my question is, you don't build pyramids in spacesuits, do you? So there is air on the moon. And actually, I have another picture somewhere, which is not part of this.
You know where that photo came from?
Yeah, there, it says right down here, there's Moon, Mars. I can't hardly read it. It's so small. Yeah, I can't read it. But it is from a research group that you will see some pictures from later on. They are phenomenal researchers, and I absolutely suggest people should go onto their site and look some of those pictures over. They are phenomenal. So here, and then we go to the next one. This is also a NASA print that I have in my possession. And that is taken by Apollo 16. and the picture number is 16-18918. Write to NASA and ask for it, and you will see two, it looks like water tanks coming right out of the ground. This one is straight up in the middle of the picture, the little curved top on it, but is perfectly round. You can see that. And it is very tall. It's, I don't exactly know the height of it, but from the surrounding landscape, it could be well over 1,000 feet tall. So that's something to ponder. Who put that there?
Yeah, that is interesting. What?
Yeah.
The shadowing or those craters, they almost look the same. The two dark spots above it that are shaped like a blimp.
You mean this one and that one, or?
Yeah, the ones right above what you call the towers, possibly, and then to the left of it. It's. Probably, I'm just wondering if that's shadowing from cratering or what that is.
Well, you know, if there's a crater there, you know, craters kind of look the same, many of them. So chances are there could be some similarities.
It's the Zeppelins, man.
Yeah, there's also some stuff over here that does not look natural, but it's hard to see on this picture. And then this one, I don't know what that is, but it is too symmetrical. That crater, or if we should call it a crater, it looks perfectly circular. And there is, I mean, if it's been on the moon for millions of years, why should it not be pockmarked with meteorites and stuff? It looks too unnaturally perfect. And then we have this straight line that you can see the shadow of here. We wonder what that is. I have no clue. Your guess is probably as good as mine. But there is something here that is fishy.
So when this says plate 61, page 88, how do like what book is this from, and then what plate is that from?
This one here, I don't show here on the picture where you actually can get it. I have the print. I got it from them, so I have that somewhere. So this one here is one of the ones I got from NASA from Houston. Let's just look at the next one. This one is really screwy. And I have this print also. Do you see that letter S?
Yeah.
This is really strange. Write to NASA and ask for the plate 120, and then you have the number here. Ask them for the print. No, that was this one. No, this is the one here, a different plate number here. So ask for the print number, and you will clearly see the letter S. Now, the thing is that S is quite large. It could probably be, you know, over in England, they have these things that is kind of like a long rows of raised, I don't know what to call it, but they are very large also. So is the Nazca plains, and there are things that is a larger structure like this. So this could be one of those things, but it doesn't look natural. I doubt if nature would make something like this in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, beginning from nowhere, going on to ending in nowhere.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's an S like English, I doubt they would use English letters, and just an S. That's got to be a symbol for something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then there is another one here that also is, this was taken by Adamski in the 1950s. He photographed a cigar-shaped ship between Earth and the moon. Now, having a little bit of knowledge about Adamski and the people that he associated with from space, supposedly Venus, I am finding that those were Germans because they flew ships exactly looking like the Haunebu 1 and Haunebu 2. So this could be the German-made Andromeda, which we know they had the drawings for, and there is indication that they actually built one, but we can't prove that. But I'm sure they probably did later after they moved to base 211 at Antarctica in South America. That's my thought.
That's interesting.
And we go for the next picture. This comes from the Chinese Space Agency. And here is, it's a blow up of this little square of to the left there. You can see there's some straight lines. And here is buildings that look square corners, totally square corners on it. That is kind of suspicious because nature don't make a lot of those square corners. Actually, there is also another one of these a little bit later that show it in a better fashion. Here is a picture.
That's from a Chinese rover?
Yeah, that comes from the Chinese. Here is a crater from the moon. I do not have this print, but I've seen it many different places being put up as the real thing by very credible people. And here is looks like there is pods or something inside this triangular crater. Could that be circular flying discs, or could it be small pods where people were either living or working in? We don't know. But it doesn't look natural to me.
Yeah, that one's really cool. I'd be interested to know, like, where the direct links to the original photos are, because this one, the one you just showed before that, and the one with the pyramid, those are all very interesting.
Yeah, they are. And here's a really good one. This is on the moon. It's crashed, cigar-shaped craft. And it looks like it's very old because you can see pot marks from meteorites hitting it. And it's kind of buried in the dirt over there to the left. And you can see this is actually the bridge. And the thing about the bridge on those cigars is that they're not on top, they're on the bottom of the craft. So this craft is crashed laying upside down. And this is
where is this photo from, Aage?
it's from it's an NASA print, and it was gleaned from the lunar orbiter, I believe, is what took this one. Yeah, I think so. So, and there's another one of this also later where you can see the size compared to things that no one understand. And this is the next one, kind of, but also this is kind of the lunar. This is taken actually by Google Earth, which also have a function in it for Google Moon. So you can go to the Google Moon and you can zoom in on certain areas. You can find stuff. Here is that square little building, perfectly square, and it's also tall. And I don't know the size of it, but it's very large. It could be hundreds of feet tall. And here's a scale, but it's hard to see on this picture what the scale is. Now here is an interesting one. You know, you heard of the moon, right? That might be him. So you can see here, there is somebody walking here. This picture actually is in the moon. In the people that do a lot of pictures for the moon, this picture is everywhere actually. So a lot of people may have seen this one. And that is, you see there's a man walking here, or humanoid walking with a shadow thrown on the ground. And here it is reversed on the lower one, so you can see it looks the other way. That is a humanoid.
Well, looks like he's missing an arm and has a very bizarre, skinny waist. Like an android. Sure, it's not just a shadow on the rock there.
It could be. I'm open to anything. Many of the androids, you know, especially in a few years from now, they're gonna look just like us.
It's like an injured android hopping away. Help me. Malfunction.
Yeah.
So do you know where this one came from though?
It's an NASA print, but I don't have this one. But there are a lot of other people, credible people, saying that they found it on in the Gigapan pictures, I think they called it. And here there's the next one. This one also comes from the NASA, showing kind of like, I don't know what it is, but it looks like an antenna sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, now I've seen this one before. I've seen the original print of this one, and I find it fascinating. This is a great one right here. This is like you've kind of, I don't know if you've done something to the coloring of it, or if you've found it in a different format, like a different.
No, this is how I got it. So,
yeah, you can. Yeah. What's interesting is if you got this somewhere else, that would correlate with the original NASA photos of that specific or something that's just like that. It's called the Moon Tower. I've heard it called before.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And there we go, the next one. That looks like an obelisk to me. It's too square to be natural. Well, at least that is my opinion.
Or they Photoshop something out.
It could, well, it could be anything. It's and again, I've seen it on a lot of the sites that credible people put up. So, of course, you know, these days it's really hard to know if you don't have it in your own possession, because they are really good at manufacturing stuff too.
Yeah, interesting, man.
And here we go. Here's that one from the Chinese Space Agency. There is a building here that looks like, you can see this is square, and then you got another building here, and this one straight one over here. Then you have something down here like either a large flat building or maybe roads that parallel each other. So I don't know what to say.
This reminds me of the Blade Runner scenario. You know, I mean, if you can confirm that this is from the Chinese rover, like this is one of the best ones that I've seen, man. This is absolutely incredible.
This was released by the Chinese agency in one of their pictures.
Dude, like, show me, like, if you could show me the links to where this comes from, I would love to do some more research into this, because this is incredible. Like, I want to know where on the moon this is, what they used to take, like what rover, what time they took it. And then, because if this is legit, man, that's some solid evidence right there of a highly advanced civilization on the moon.
Yeah. If you look at that square corners and all, how it looks like this, it's nature doesn't make stuff like this. And here, this one is really clear. Here's a crater, and that's sitting on the bottom of it. It looks like it's very old. The roofs have collapsed, so now all you have is the walls. That also is a NASA print. So
Like an oil refinery almost.
Yeah, it could be absolutely anything.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's an oil refinery. I'm just saying it kind of has that look from a bird's eye view if you were to check it out and compare it to an oil refinery on Earth. But where this is probably more, like a highly advanced substructure built in a crater for the moon, maybe tens of thousands of years ago. But just the first thing that comes to my mind is when I see that, I'm like, man, that reminds me of an oil refinery. And once again, if this is legit, and I would love to see the print number. I would love to go to NASA's archives and say, okay, boom, we've got this file. We can pull it out because this is great, Aage. I mean, this is, you look at this and you say, how could that be natural?
Yeah. And if people want to get prints and stuff from NASA, it's very simple these days. Back, 20, 30 years ago, I had to write letters to them to get it and then sit and wait. Now, you can actually go to nasa.gov and the NASA, I think they got several sites for different things, but go to their website and then there is a place, I believe it is nasa.gov, where you can actually apply if you have the plate number and the Apollo 16 or whatever it was that took the picture, and then you can put that in and they will download it right to you in your email.
Yeah. So then which one is this? If we want to get this, which?
Yeah, this one, I don't know the coordinates for this one, but I'll look into this a little more on some of these. Cool. Because there's a couple of others too that I don't know where they actually, the coordinates for them. But also NASA has, this I have not done, but I've heard that NASA now have a picture recognition service. So if you send them the print, they will be able to match the print and send it to you. So if you have a picture of the print, then they can send you the print. I would say if they send it to you in email, it's not quite as good as getting the actual print. So I would rather have the print because it's big like this and it's very detailed, and you can blow it up and blow it up and blow it up, and you can find stuff in it. If you get it on email, it's a little difficult. Now you are restricted to the pixels on your printer.
Cool.
So that's
sounds like a reverse image search.
And here, I know this sounds really ridiculous, but this picture was released by the Russian Space Agency. They're saying there was this picture with this thing on the moon. And because they claimed it was, we stuck it in here. And this picture's been around a little while too. I think a lot of people are shying away from it because it sounds too ridiculous, but I don't know. The Russians said, yeah, it was there. And the question, what it was taken by Luna 9. And then the theory was for some people saying that, there was a wheelbase off of Luna 9 that just was dislodged. Okay, then how could Luna 9 move around if it was dislodged? So that doesn't fly either. So there's questions on this one. And here is another one that is very clear. In the bottom of this crater, there's, looks like 3 buildings. Maybe they covered the buildings with dirt, kind of like it looks to me. And here is one building, and here's another one. Maybe they covered it with dirt because of, you know, there's a lot of radiation up there, and because it doesn't have the same amount of oxygen that we have. The air on the moon is about equivalent to about 20,000 or 18,000 feet of altitude here on Earth. I know they don't say it. NASA doesn't admit that, but I have a NASA print somewhere that show a very, very thin layer of something above the horizon of the moon. So there's something there. There's a gas up there. There's also a video out there on something that is coming. It's a pipe coming out of the ground. This is from the moon. There was a video that was taken by NASA in one of their trips around the moon. I believe it was in the one where they flew around it in 1968 to map the moon. And the pipe coming out of the ground, and there's black smoke coming out of the pipe, and it goes up and then it drifts off in a certain, you know, to the right in the video. So if it does that, that means that there's a fluid of air or something that is moving the gas. If there was no air on the moon and the smoke came out of the pipe, it would go everywhere. And it doesn't do that. Oops. There we go. Now these are very clear. There's something here that is man-made. That is absolutely clear to me.
I'm wondering if there's shadows or if it's Photoshop of trying to cover something up out there, or if it's like the tops of buildings, as you say, or maybe pipes. Huh.
Yeah,
it does look artificial.
Yeah, it does. And you see the shadows are on the same side, and they go in the same angles on both of them. So I don't see any errors in the shadows of it. Anyway, here's like another one coming
like
up.
Barracks. So where do you know where that one came from by any chance?
This one?
No, the one before this. We were just
I'm trying to think, and I don't exactly remember which trip to the moon it came from, but I'll make myself some notes here, and I'm going to look into this because I have some of these prints and I can go look them up, and I'll see what I can find, because that would add to what I'm talking about now. And here, of course, this is another one too. It looks like a TV dish with something in the middle of it.
Yeah, I think I've seen this one before, actually. This one's really cool. I'd like to look at it for a minute just because it's been a while since I've seen it, and that's very interesting. It looks like a teacup. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it doesn't look natural to me, that's for sure.
It doesn't look natural to me either. I wonder if it's a ship. Now this one, I wonder if it could be a ship.
No, I kind of doubt it. Yeah, if it was just a dish, absolutely it could be, but this thing in the middle of it, that kind of to me, I think it throws the ship out of the window, because it more like maybe a communication station or a tower used for something. I'm not sure.
Now a tower, that's interesting. Yeah, it's like a tower built on a pad, and maybe
Mhm.
it's a tower built on something that could protect it, or like a dish also for communication. But I wonder, it's probably connected to a much bigger network underneath it as well. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm. And then we have this one. It looks like it's been an old ruined city. Streets, or not streets maybe, but it looks like it's dwellings that don't have any roofs anymore, but there was something here that is perfectly straight lined.
It looks like Chaco Canyon almost, or Aztec ruins.
Yeah.
Satellite.
Even up here at the top, you can see there's a indentation in the ground with something in the middle of it at the very top. Doesn't look natural either. Here is one that is a little harder to see, but there's something here. It's cross. It looks like maybe a building of something. And then maybe there's something with a light over here, maybe I don't know, a roof. But there's something here that doesn't look quite like nature would do it. Here again, there's another one from the Russian Space Agency, from a different location, are we told. And that has a wheelbase, wheels and wheelbase.
It's a moon Sherpa.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Sherpa off-wheel drive, or the all-wheel drive, like off-road vehicles? They're called Sherpas. They're giant wheels, and you can't really flip it over because it's the way it's designed. It reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Moon Sherpa, man. Sweet.
Here, yeah, this next one is really interesting. Here's the crater. It's a small one. It's only maybe a mile or more across. If you blow that up, it looks like this, looks like a swastika.
Now, if this is real, this reminds me of the stories about how the Nazis went to the moon.
Yeah.
Because that's far out, man. That's far out. Where did you get this one? Tell us everything you know about this photo right here.
This one comes from, what's it say down here? No, that's ours. It is in the Schrödinger crater. So if you have go to Google Moon, find out the location for the Schrödinger crater. I talked to a guy in New Zealand, because they, oh God, that was 4 or 5 years ago. And he said he saw something in the Schrödinger crater that could very well be this. And what I also understand is that when the Nazi Germans went to the moon in 1942 for the first time and started mapping it, then they found this building and they fell in love with it. And that's where they are. They rebuilt some of it, and that's where one of their bases are. I know that sounded ridiculous too, in 1942 going to the moon. But if you look into the technology of the Haunebu, you're going to find out that it was very well capable of doing that.
I mean, I just want to know where the original photos are in this kind of stuff, because these are they're incredible photos. And, you know, I keep saying this, like, if they're legit, but there's been so many times in the past where I've seen footage that you're like, wow, that's it, man. That's it. That's the truth. That's the ticket. And then you find out it's debunked, or it comes from somewhere else, or, you know, somebody added a little extra to it to make it look like it. And so, I got to say, though, these are some fascinating photos. This one right here, if we can verify where this comes from and confirm this, I think it's pretty solid evidence that there's.
Yeah, and you can look into that. And the Schrodinger crater is where it's at. And you remember a few years back when they had that movie called Iron Sky?
I think that's
that's the movie about the Germans that went to the moon and built a base up there. They had a building in that movie that looks exactly like this one, only it was more perfect, of course, because it was built recently. This one's been around for eons.
So you don't think the Nazis built that when they went to the moon? You think that's been there?
Oh no, not this one. You can see it's it's not perfect anymore. It's kind of dilapidated. Huh. Some from probably meteorites and stuff hitting it.
Wow, man.
Yeah. And here, this is also one taken from a distance by the lunar orbiter, and you can see a square something or other on the ground. I would presume it probably is a building of something, but it is square. Again, nature doesn't make squares. Yeah. This came back from the moon also. And we don't know what it is. It's right there, but I'm not going to say all that much about it because I have no clue what it might be.
That looks newer.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like it could be one of ours.
It could be. It could be.
Because they definitely ain't telling us what they're doing on the moon. China ain't telling us what they're doing on the moon.
With the Google Moon, you can go to 25.5 degrees north, 20 degrees east, and kind of circle around the area, and you can probably find it.
Now, that's what I like to see. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Folks, there's the data right there. Look it up and tell us what you see.
Yep.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And here is something really strange. There's a plateau, but there's a spike coming out of it. That's from LPI NASA picture. The spike stands up out of the ground like that and throw a shadow on the ground, and is curved. Weird picture.
Tremors on the moon.
Yeah.
Dude, Dune was filmed on the moon. it's the worms.
Yeah.
Remember the worms in Dune? They come out, they're massive.
And here is a square hole in the bottom of that crater. It's a very small one over here. You can barely see it, but if it was blown up a little more, you could see it. This is in the Bancroft crater. That square hole is right down here.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. This one is really strange. There's craters everywhere, and then you have this trench. Like a road. Straight across from the right end of the picture to the left end of the picture.
So that to me looks like it could be possibly when they put two photos together and they take data. And they
you mean a seam?
Yeah, like a seam. Now that's possible. And another thing that it could be is a plasma type discharge if there was like that event where that lightning went all over the place. But it could also be a freaking road, man. Hop on your lunar Sherpa and let's go. Yeah.
And then whoever took this picture first, and they found this thing. They say this is a ship. It could be. I'm not so sure I see that, but there's a question about this thing.
We got a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Could be. All right, let's see here. Now this one is interesting. It's a hole. And it's 100 meters this, so it's about 100 meters wide. That is about 300 feet across. And there's you can see the ground below it. So it looks like maybe it's maybe 50 feet or so, or maybe more deep. I wonder what comes in and out of this thing. I heard people say that it's so big that you can actually see it with a telescope that is 800 magnifications or more. You could see it, and you can see light coming in and out of it. That's the rumor that I've heard, and that's all it is. But I've heard.
I got a telescope that has a stellar zoom, and I really doubt that I would be able to see something 300 meters in width on the moon, just because that's not, I mean, that's not like a football field. No, that's 3 football fields basically, or 2.5 football fields. And like the moon is so far away, you would need some serious magnification. Now, if there's light and stuff coming out of it, and you know exactly where to look, possibly, but I think it'd be really difficult to see 100-meter hole on the moon unless you got some incredible optics.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, there's a lot of people that are seeing lights up there, so you never know.
Oh yeah, there's actually a light. There is a weird crater out there that you can see light that emits from this crater, and there's really not but it's a lot bigger than 100 meters, man. I mean, it's like miles and miles across.
Yeah. Yeah, and here, go to the next one. This one is really, I mean, these are little pods, but they're all lit up. That could be like a little town. One up here and here.
Man, the complex of the moon, huh? It's like the city center. That's interesting.
Now this one is really goofy. This is a colored picture, and yes, NASA did take colored pictures up there, and they didn't show a lot of those in the first, but they have been released. And here you go right to NASA, tell them you want the picture from Apollo 8. Photograph them.
They're terraforming the craters.
Say again?
They're terraforming the craters. Look at that.
Yeah, green vegetation up there. Green vegetation on the moon. That tells me that 2 things have to happen. It's got to be air, and it has to be moisture. Of course, I don't know though what kind of green vegetation it is. It's there may be some moths or something that may not need much moisture, but there also are NASA prints that show a shading of clouds in the sky above the moon. So there is moisture up there. This is a still photo from a video that I have seen that's supposed to come from the moon, and it was so outrageously strange that I put it in here, because this in the video, this man or this humanoid walks across, and he turns towards the camera, and then he sits down. It looks like he's trying to make himself smaller.
What video is this from?
It's all over the internet. I found it actually there. So, but it said that it was from a NASA movie footage that they took up there, and I cannot guarantee or say anything on this one up and beyond that.
The original moon rover.
Yeah, something. Okay, here we go. 2 pyramids. I have pictures of 2 other pyramids also. One right at the North Pole region, and these 2 here. That is UFO this is down here where we can probably find the original on it. You can't really read it from where I can see it right now, but it's in the video. You can maybe find it. These looks like pyramids to me.
Well, they're definitely pyramids. The question is, were they put there, you know, Photoshop? Because that looks super awesome. And if I could say, well, I knew where it came from, but these guys could have just done that on their own, you know? But it's cool. Regardless, I'm just going to continue to like question everything. So what do you think? Yeah, I mean, are you convinced that that's a legit photo, or would you say, I'll give it 40, 60, 50, 50? You know, where do you stand with this, like personally?
Yeah, I kind of think it is actually real, because I've seen pyramids other places, and there's one at the North Polar region also that we can find on broadcast Team Alpha, where Nori and I have that picture in the picture gallery. So I kind of think it's real.
So you're giving it are you giving it a 60, 40, 70, 30? Where are we at with you, brother?
Oh, I think I'm giving it an 80.
All right, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And here, oh, here's that guy again that will throw the shadow. Yeah.
I mean, it could be a shadow of an android or a dude.
Yeah.
Could be. That's interesting, because it does look like it is a shadow clearly of something, and I would think that the way you would see a shadow on but how far up is this? Like, what is actually taking this photo? That's my next question. You know, I mean, how far up is it supposed to be?
Well, let's here's the if you follow the cursor here, here's the head, here's the body, and his legs down here, and throwing the shadow on the rock or the mound behind him here. So the shadow is going this way. The shadow is going this way on everything up there. So the shadow goes the right way, and I seem to look like the angle of the shadow follows what it is on the other craters and mounds and stuff too. So
it's interesting.
I'm giving this one a pretty good rating too.
Nice.
Now this one here, next one, I don't know, but there's a lot of credible people saying this was from a NASA print.
It is. I've actually seen the NASA prints on this one, and this is a fascinating anomaly. Yeah, let's look at this for a minute. This is great.
Yeah. That's absolutely an artifact.
I haven't seen the, like, I've seen the photo full, you know, blown up, black and white, not with this coloring and texturing and not the 4 different ones, but this one is original NASA photo that I think is great evidence that suggests there was or is advanced civilizations on the moon.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do? Like, and then the question is, where did they go, right? If they're not there anymore, what happened? Why did they leave?
Well, you know, there was a war, you know, in our solar system at one time, and maybe they got wiped out, or maybe something happened, because most of the craters are on this side. There's hardly any craters on the other side. So we don't really know what happened. Well, there's some people that say they know, but, you know, you got to keep the salt shaker close by when you hear stuff too. Here's another one. That looks like a building. I wish I could read what it says down there, but .com. And here is another NASA print that I got from NASA myself. That shows a cigar-shaped, a short cigar-shaped craft with light coming out of the end of it and just moving across. And I have that print, so I know this one is real.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And here's what Richard Hoagland called the shard, which is about, I think he said 4 miles tall.
Wow.
Something standing out of the surface on the moon, just reaching into the sky like that. There's another one with buildings or whatever it is in a perfect straight line. That looks like equal distance between them or close to. Straight rows. Yep. There's another one with a guy standing up there without a spacesuit. He got protective gear on, looks like, but it's not a spacesuit.
Do you have any info on this one?
I have something, but I don't remember what it was. We didn't put that into the video. So I remember I went through the same thing then. I was going to go through my files and try to find it, and we didn't find it, so we just put it in.
Man, that's oh,
I got files and file cabinets full of stuff, and it takes a little to find things sometimes.
that's pretty cool.
And
Taking a jaunt on the lunar surface.
Yeah, here's a rock that was. It looks like I think it's a rock. Could be something else. But the reason that I put this one in here, because it rolls uphill. In the bigger picture of it, which I have in another place, it started out on a downhill a little bit, and then it rolls a long way uphill. I don't know if gravity will work that way. And there's another one here, somewhat similar to that. Let me show. Oh yeah, here there's a tower sticking out of the ground on the moon in the middle of that circle. And I don't know how tall that is, except for that it is quite tall. And here is another something or other that has been rolling uphill. And here is something else that's been traveling across at about a 25-degree angle on the first path that has been lodged there. So there's something here, and there's questions. Why does things roll uphill on the moon?
Weird.
Yeah, and here, oh yeah. When I started messing around trying to get things from NASA, I discovered that there was that's 30 years ago. There was quite a few pictures that was classified. I couldn't get them. A lot of those pictures has been released now, but they are smudged. So the question is, what is behind this smudging? In the next picture, I'm going to show you. If you want to go look at this yourself, you can. Google Moon, there's 137 degrees latitude, and the coordinates are at the top here. I think they got something at the bottom also. Now, let me go to the next one. I'll show you something. This is what it looks like when it is de-smudged. There's two ways to do that. One of them is with a chemical, which can only be done on the original. And the other one is by X-raying the picture. You will see different heat signatures in the picture. And this is what it looks like when you're X-raying the picture. Something comes out from behind the smudging. That looks like a building to me.
Yeah, that's interesting. It even looks like it has lights at the top.
Yeah. And here is inside a crater. There's things, little circular stuff inside the edge of that crater, as well as down here. Maybe it's circular discs sitting there.
Wait, is that the same image that you were showing us earlier, but from a different perspective that had those discs in the crater? Because if so, if that's it, then we have the coordinates right here to check that out. And it's close to this other anomaly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And here's the coordinates for that if you want to go look at it. So, and I have another one here. Yeah, here we go. This picture show what that cigar, that crashed cigar sitting on the moon, laying upside down. It's 500 meters diameter. That is right about 1,500 feet. Its diameter is bigger than the Eiffel Tower. And you can see also compared to the length of Queen Mary, which is, Queen Mary is 345 meters long. That's about 1,100 feet. This thing is, let's see, what is it? It's about, I thought it said
10 times
here.
that.
Yeah.
3,370 meters.
Yeah, 3,370 meters. That is, yeah. About 11. And that is about 10,000, about 11,000 feet.
That's rad.
Pretty big.
So it looks like somebody else actually, look at this. Stop there. See, it even gives the data. Photographed at the moon, Luna 17S 117.5 east. So that photo that you showed, we can now go and look. I was very skeptical about it at first, but now that I'm seeing this, I think it's a lot cooler. I'm glad you're showing us this photo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, think about it. A freaking giant cruise ship on the moon.
Yeah.
The Titanic has nothing on this. I mean, this is incredible, dude.
Mm-hmm.
500 meters in height.
Yeah, width. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Whoa.
That's half a kilometer wide.
That's
you guys in Europe,
cool.
Yeah, you guys in Europe will understand that. Yeah. And then we have another one that Richard Hoagland talked about a lot, and they call it the Tower of Babel. This goes 5 miles tall above the surface of the moon. That's on the far side. That's amazing. I have no clue what that could be. We have skyscrapers here, but no, not like that. Uh-oh, we are at the end of the moon. Yeah, that's the narration of Norilov and myself when we did that. So if you want to see the rest and the comments, then you go to Broadcast Team Alpha and scroll down to the moon pictures and you'll find it. But here is something different. Should we go on to Mars?
Yeah, how long do you think that's going to be?
It's about half the amount of pictures. We could do another show if you like on the Mars only.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I think it deserves its own show because I didn't know we were going to be looking at the moon photos for like an hour and 15 minutes. So, or actually an hour and 10 minutes. So I think that'd be great. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Oh yeah, I'll I'll just give you just a taste.
Yeah.
This will wet your whistle. If we can, let me see here. I'll get you one picture. No.
The trees and the.
I just got this. There. That picture was intercepted by someone before it coming back from Mars, by someone before NASA got their hands on it to start altering it. Do you see that guy standing there?
I mean, I see the dude, yeah. But are you sure about the information being?
It's a little gray.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's certainly.
Yeah, so let's look at that next time. There's a lot more like that.
Great. Yeah, this is
right.
I got to say, I'll go ahead and turn off this stop sharing if you would for just a moment, fine, sir. And then I got to say, like, some of the photos, because Aage, you've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for quite a while myself, and through the years, a lot of the stuff that I used to think was legit, I've kind of debunked it, right? I used to look at the moon and Mars photos, and I'd go on Google Mars and find all the stuff that was coming from NASA and JPL and all these different places. And even Kristen came to me one time. She's like, "Gosh, I feel like we're living in National Geographic. You're just sitting on your computer looking at Mars and the moon all the time. What's going on with you?" And I'm like, "I know. I need to chill out." And so, yeah, I think when I see these incredible photos, now I'm going, okay, let's find out where they came from. Let's find out what satellite took it, because just to give you an example, recently there was some video footage of something that made it look like people were in body bags. And then one guy jumps out of the body bag and they're like, "No, get back in there." And they tried to make it look like it was a part of the situation going on overseas right now. And they even overdubbed it with video or with audio. And and people like, see, it's not true. It's not true. And then I found out later that footage came from a protest where people were protesting global warming. So they were doing this big stunt where they were all going in body bags, and they're like, "Look at us, because of you, because of your air conditioning, and because you eat a steak, and because of your carbon footprint." You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just skeptical.
The cows,
Yeah. So I appreciate you putting up with me, and I'm certainly, when I'm making those objections, it's not towards you, it's towards, I just want to get to the source, right? So that way we can confirm it, or we can say, "Oh no, we got that debunked. Let's move on to the next one." But a lot of those photos you're showing, and especially when we got towards the end there, and it revalidated that one that looked like this massive spaceship crashed on the moon. And then we're looking at the other photo of it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I appreciate that, man. This is a lot of great information.
The thing also is that both you and me, if I was going to count all the times that I have been fooled on one hand, I have no clue how many fingers I would have. I have been fooled so many times. And then, you see something and you want it to be true. And then later on, you find out that, gee, there's questions on that one. And then somebody come and tell you, wait, that's not like you said, that was for a demonstration, not from the war. So the incident is real, but not for the same purpose sometimes. And we get fooled. I've been fooled a lot.
Happens to the best of us. So that's about learning, and it's about having fun while you're learning, right? So we gotta have fun on the journey. And so your website, what's your website and your YouTube channel again?
Nori and I have this website called broadcastteamalpha.com, and we are on YouTube, and in fact we are transmitting every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock East Coast time. We are going out, and we are now going out on 16 different platforms. So we get out there a little bit. And we do a lot of interest. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We do a lot of interesting stuff to talk to some really interesting people. And you know, you've been one of my heroes, because the people that you are interviewing and the subjects that you are doing, and on top of that, you don't have guests. You grab a subject and talk on it for an hour, and it gets deep, Rex. So you're one of my heroes, people I'm looking up to.
Wow. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I'll send you a check in the mail.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Very kind of you. You're awesome, man. No, you're great. I'm really looking forward to doing this again soon. So maybe we could do the Mars anomalies sooner than later. And just so you know, if you would be interested too, we're working on a 24/7 platform where I won't be doing all the interviews. People will just be doing their own shows and would like to stream it through Leak Project. So, you know, that way we could get more people to talk about what they want to talk about in an uncensored platform. And so people just go and they watch it free. You know, it's just totally free. They just know where it's at and what time. So if there's a certain time that you do those shows and you wanted to add to the viewing and give more people an opportunity to see what you're doing, then we'll put together a cool social media kit and just tell us what time, and I'll send you the link. And then you just do the shows the way that you're doing it normally. And, you know, if you wanted to do your own show separate, that'd be great too. It's totally up to you. Just something to think about. I wanted to throw that out there for you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. We could do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It'd be awesome, man. It'd be great.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk to Mac about this and put it together.
Perfect. Sounds great.
You know Mac, so
yeah,
the producer.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That'd be fantastic. So looking forward to that, and keep being the change you want to see, will you?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you everybody for being here with us. Now, please hit the bell, be well, and be the change you want to see, everybody.
Yeah.